How you doing, man? How's life?
It's normal. I make videos yelling at imperialists and calling them mean names.
And a
And
lot of people recently. Yeah, you've
oh
been
yeah,
yelling, my friend. Oh my
oh
God.
yeah. I heard that some of the yelling was relevant to you personally in an indirect way. Is that so?
Oh yeah, yeah,
From
yeah.
some,
That was
from my
interesting to
agents
see.
told me about your history in the United States. My handlers rather. They got some dirt on you
Absolutely.
and they let me know a little bit about it. It's to do with
I have
human
no.
trafficking.
Yeah, yeah. I heard you were touching on the topic. I mean, I have absolutely no idea if everything that was put through the court case for this particular individual was true, etc., etc. But in case that it was, like, this is a very common occurrence in when it comes to
Yeah,
organizations like that existing in the U.S. And
yeah,
I've
and
actually
they did it
gone
to
through.
you. Except
Yeah,
you're
I
not
mean,
like you weren't like a woman, so I imagine it was different. Or
exactly,
are you a
exactly.
woman?
Usually, maybe. For now, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
But no, it's these so-called work and travel agencies, and they don't
Hmm.
only call them work and travel; they call them many different names, which usually go and scout people between the ages of 18 to 25, sometimes even older, but the US doesn't give visas for older people usually,
Hmm.
unless you have a family member. They scout you and then they find you a particular job in the US and they take you there. That's supposed to be the usual exploitation of labor. They get you over there
Yeah.
so they pay you even less than the American, blah blah blah. Especially not even pay you less. It's mostly done to fill up job positions that absolutely nobody wants to do, very seasonal jobs, very usually fucked up jobs, etc., etc.
Yeah, like
Uh,
contracting below minimum wage to hotels, for example.
exactly, exactly. And what usually happens, probably 50, 60% of the time, is these agencies do exactly that. Capitalism bad, the labor exploitation on steroids bad, blah, blah, blah. But very often, these agencies will have direct connections to particular hotels or particular restaurants or particular,
Hmm.
malls or whatever in whatever town that they are operating in, and they would often guarantee a certain number of employees to those restaurants, malls, construction sites, or blah blah blah.
Hmm.
uh, if you come there and you, for example, start one particular job and it's really fucked up and shit, and you want to quickly change to another seasonal job, which is absolutely allowable from if you have that particular type of visa. Usually what they tell you is that's what happened to me, they outright lied to me that they will immediately terminate my visa if I quit
So
one
wait,
particular
hold on, a
restaurant job.
question. So
Mhm.
your visa type, was it work and holiday, or was it like a specific visa they got you?
It was work and holiday, work
Okay,
and
so
travel,
so
whatever
yeah,
the
they
fuck.
got you
Yeah.
like a different visa to the one that Bo got for his friends, like
Mhm.
one that's way more open. And but they just lied to you about what you can do on it. Is that right?
Exactly, and they
Yeah,
threaten that
like
they're gonna
like
take it
technically, like
away.
they had no power over you. You could have left, but I guess you probably didn't know that.
Absolutely didn't know that, but then I talked to
Communism is based.
other people who were there for that have come back for year 2 or year 3.
Hmm.
They were like, "No, man, fuck that. You don't even have to interact with the agency." At that moment, when they were assholes to me, I literally just stopped interacting with them. They
Hmm.
also like lied to you that all jobs that you find have to go through them, which usually leads to
Yeah,
them talking to whatever store owner and being like, "This kid wants $14 an hour. Give him." I'll convince him to work for 10, but you give me $2 for every hour that he
yeah.
works. That's usually the typical scheme, etc., etc. And they do a bunch of other shit. The reason I'm mentioning, like the reason, like I mentioned this to you when we talked, privately,
Yeah.
is because there is absolutely no way you can sell or pitch taking people from developing countries and giving them insanely shitty jobs and then exploiting them on top of that by threatening them, etc., in the
Yeah.
US as like a good thing, or as saving them,
Yeah,
or
I
as
mean,
bringing them out of
that's another
exploitation,
thing. Like,
etc.
even if he wasn't like, even if he was paying them minimum wage and it was a legitimate contracting company instead of a human trafficking operation, like if he actually abided by the terms of the visa, he was honest with them about what it was, it would still be like terrible exploitation. Everything else on top is just worse.
Exactly. That's the only thing I wanted to say. Again, I'm not sure if it's
Yeah,
true
it's not
or
exactly the same
whatever the
as
fuck.
what happened to
Yeah,
you.
I'm talking I was talking about in general. how
Yeah.
these fucked up agencies that quote unquote help kids come and make money for college.
Yeah, I mean, the whole reason
And
they bring them is because either the people who actually live there don't want to do the jobs because they're so shit, or because they can pay them less than the people who actually live there.
exactly,
Because
exactly,
obviously,
and
every country like the US, there's the reserve army of labor and everything. There's enough people there
Mhm.
usually for the jobs. The problem is they don't want to pay them enough.
Exactly. And they like these seasonal workers are perfect because they don't stay in the country afterwards,
Yeah.
right? Because they are very easy to monitor.
Yeah, they're not
Because
going to bother complaining because they can just leave.
absolutely, and it has a very low percentage rate of people then just hiding out and illegally in the country afterwards because they vet them
Yeah.
very well at the embassy and the agencies themselves to pick innocent ass usually college students etc that want to pay their
Yeah, yeah,
tuition money.
yeah. In order to be even given it, like you have to prove to the embassy that you're gonna go home. Basically, you have to prove that you have
Yeah,
a reason to go home. I have friends who have been
yeah.
refused even tourist visas to the US for that reason.
Absolutely, and they give you they check your grades, etc., etc.
Yeah, it's
It's super,
insane.
it's super weird. Then when I I wanted to go and work fucking construction in restaurants and wash fucking dishes. It was extremely difficult to get a visa. Since I graduated, and worked for international corporations, etc., etc. I walked in. I just gave them my employment thingy and the invitation I had for the US for some business trip or whatever. It took 15 seconds and they were like, it's approved for 10 years. I can go and stay for 180 days in the US whenever I want for the next
Yeah.
10 years. It took 15 seconds for them to give it to me because my profile at that point was wealthy guy puts money into US, right?
Yeah.
Potentially or whatever, or works with US, makes Americans money, works for American company, blah blah blah. But before that, dirty little poor boy, that's
Yeah,
not
it's not
acceptable.
allowed.
And you will go through real fucking interviews, baby, like actual fucking interviews. It's
No, the problem
it's
is you
crazy.
didn't have someone with connections in the State Department and the Department of Homeland Security to get you free visas. That was the issue. Like a certain someone. You didn't have a
Uh,
document forger. That's what you needed.
yeah, absolutely. Honestly, that's when they got me. They didn't want to give me a visa to go to the US. So they were like, if we give you a visa, you have to start a communist YouTube channel where you're
Yeah.
going to make it look like you're radicalizing people, but actually all you're going to be doing is mellowing them out ideologically. Let's use that terminology.
Yeah, you're making them all support NATO. I know that. That's the same thing that happened. You have a lot in common with our friend who I'm not going to name for legal reasons.
Oh, absolutely.
You're both
Yes.
feds. I'm a fed too.
Absolutely.
Who isn't? Who isn't a fed?
Who isn't a fucking Fed? All of YouTube
Exactly.
is a Fed. It is all one guy. It is all one guy, and it is a Fed.
I
Um,
mean, all of YouTube, yeah, that is literally it. It actually, except they don't know they're feds. It's like center right feds against like further right feds, and they're all like having an argument where the center right feds are
If you
trying
don't
to
trust the
convince people that
CIA,
are
then
left
who do
wing,
you trust?
mhm.
and like the right wing feds are trying to convince the left wing that conservative ideas are actually left wing, and they just fight each other all the time.
Exactly. Especially if a streamer or a YouTuber says that they are not American, that has to be a lie because only
Exactly.
Americans exist. Like literally, only Americans exist. Nothing else exists.
Well,
So
I don't know. There's also like beasts elsewhere in the world that Americans like can exploit, but they're not human, so they don't really count as like having a nationality.
oh, not at all. And then it's not exploitation because get being able to get to the glorious land of America and cleaning American shoes is a absolute blessing for everyone living in these poor
Yeah,
mud huts,
precisely.
which is basically the rest of the world.
That's why everyone
There's
said about our
Paris,
human
there's the
trafficking
U.S., and
friend.
there's Paris, and there's
That's
Emily. And
literally everyone said about our human trafficking friend. Like their first impulse to defend him was, "Look, he was just helping immigrants come to the U.S. and get jobs. How nice
I
of
am
him! How nice of him to put him into
I am
hotels to clean some toilets."
eternally grateful to those agencies and to that visa for sending me there because that literally shattered my image of the so-called American dream that's pitched very much so,
Oh
especially
yeah.
in Eastern Europe, and additionally, literally led me to the socialist school of thought, literally. So thank you, visa guy and agency
Well,
and
now you're like a
etc.
federal agent though. So how does that work?
Oh shit! Wait, I confused my double
Yeah, you
personalities.
just got called
Well,
out on your contradictions. You just got destroyed completely.
absolutely. No, I'm a third category. I actually believe in socialism, but I work for the feds because I don't want to be poor.
Oh, okay.
So it's the worst possible option, because if you don't believe in socialism, you work for the feds. Okay, like okay, you're just a reactionary. But I believe in the cause, but I very willingly betrayed it in order to
Okay.
get $1,000 on Patreon.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a lot of money,
Multi-millionaire,
right?
bro.
That's the good thing
Yeah.
about Patreon is you can get paid by numerous state actors, sometimes by opposing state actors, and there's no way to trace it. Like, I'm paid by Russia, I'm paid by the US, I'm paid by China, I'm even paid by like American Samoa. And like, but they, they like create fake Patreon accounts and they send you the money like piecemeal
Exactly.
with like front identities, so no one knows that it's happening, and it's very
I'm just
convenient for
waiting.
me.
I'm just waiting for Balkan mafia guys to figure out Patreon to launder money. Like this, it's going to be fucking
Oh, it's so
incredible.
fucking easy, man. It's so fucking easy. Like there are people like if you don't know in Mexico, there's this like special visa, and it's like if you I think it's like if you make $2,000 a month, you just get a visa. They give you a visa to live there forever. That's all you need. And I know
Wow.
people who just started sending themselves money on Patreon to get that visa, and it worked. So
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
fucking great.
There was some like Bitcoin donation option or whatever, not on Twitch, but you could connect it indirectly or directly. I don't remember. I remember there was like a period for like I don't know, a year that people were getting extremely suspicious donations. 10K, 10K, 10K. And they were like very small streamers. I'm talking about my part of the world, and then it
Mhm.
ended up being like a whole money laundering operation, etc., etc. Because
Fantastic.
when they would go to the IRS, they would be like, "Just watch my Twitch stream. It's donations from anonymous people, man. Fucking prove it's not," or etc., etc. But I guess that part, they told that to the wrong grumpy IRS lady, and she was like, "You know what? I'm gonna ask my kid about what this Twitch thing is." And the kid was like, "Nah, mom, they're laundering money." And she's like, "Motherfucker." Yeah. But no, real talk now. Would you? Because I don't know. Would you, for example, accept money from I don't know the Chinese or the Russians if they just
It
wanted
depends on
to
how
give you
much.
money? Yeah, and it depends on how much they want to alter the content or whatever. I would never accept it if they tell me, "Yo, like start posting shit about how the Hoholols are demon Nazis or whatever, or how Deng thought
Oh, there's
is
some people who
absolutely
do that.
superior." Hmm?
But
Yeah,
I would say,
probably. But
I
mhm.
mean, if any Chinese intelligence agents want to send me money on my Patreon, send me, and I'll keep doing what I'm already doing anyway.
Exactly.
That's how the Americans do it. All they have to do to like get someone to like write some sort of haphazard supposedly leftist justification for like a war or something is to just like tell fucking I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Zizek, come, hey,
Mhm.
we need an opinion piece. Can you write an opinion piece on American war, like version 50? And he's like, yes, I will. That. And then he just shits
Absolutely.
something out to like justify like an American invasion
Mhm.
completely of his own volition. They don't even need to like ask him, tell him what to write. He just does it, and they know he's reliable. He's gonna do it. So like,
I am such a
I'll do that for
fucking
China.
national. Yeah, there you go. That's the idea. But uh, as long as then the hit pieces aren't too fucking harsh. But I don't know why like Zizek has been taking such hardcore L's. I have a theory.
I
I'm
mean,
a
he
big
he.
Zizek
I
guy.
mean,
I
you
think
know
everyone
him.
knows.
You know that he got famous advocating for the breakup of Yugoslavia and
I know,
also
I
for
know. Everybody
neoliberal
was
shock
a lib at
treatment
some point.
during his presidential
Eh?
campaign afterwards. You know that.
Fucking cringe. Everyone was a lib at some point. I mean, but
I mean, but like advocating for the
I think
breakup
you
of
really can. I
Yugoslavia
think
and then running for president on a neoliberal shock treatment platform, which then also happened and killed millions of people. I think that's like another level of like being a
you
lib.
think I don't know all of this, my friend? It's
Yeah.
just I wanna
How do
lie to
you
myself. I
reconcile
wanna
it?
lie because I don't. I just ignore it. very
Exactly.
intensively ignore it because of some other absolutely brilliant work that he's done, right? I
Mm.
have to lie to myself. I have to close one eye, I guess,
Oh, I guess
especially
that
when it
that's
comes to
respectable.
the majority of philosophers. I mean, I don't think you can really do that with political parties, with political individuals, state figures, party leaders, etc., etc. But with philosophers, I mean, half of them were fucking pedophiles, probably. Anyways,
Well,
Jesus.
and yeah, I mean,
Uh,
the reason why he's so famous is
Communism
because
is
they know
based.
that what he says is not a meaningful challenge to what they want. That's how it works. Chomsky as well, though. Chomsky has started saying some like things that I don't like lately, so they've stopped using him as much as they used to.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, with Zizek, my theory is that while also being a brilliant man, he also like absolutely does care about being in the limelight.
Yeah, I
And
think
around
he loves it.
2015,
He obviously loves it.
2000, exactly 2015, 2016, when he like actually said some pretty radical shit. Like, I think the American left will be massively radicalized if Trump gets elected. That's why he's a better option than another
I mean,
four
yeah,
years.
he wouldn't have gotten the
Typical story.
exposure that he did
He
for that if he had said like vote for Biden. Obviously,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But then that kind of worked. Like the radicalization in the U.S. has
did
absolutely
it?
been, huh? Well, depends on how you define radicalization. But
Radicalization towards the right, maybe.
for a lot of people, but for a lot of people who never even heard what fucking anti-fascism is, all of a sudden, everybody's talking about fucking Antifa, etc., etc.
Well, yeah, but then
It's
you also have like the opposite impulse to funnel all of that energy into just voting for the Democratic candidate every time. So I don't think anything's really going to
Exactly,
come of it.
exactly. No, I'm not saying he was right with the comment that he stated, but I'm saying he was having like hot takes. Then he had a hot take, which is
Yeah, I mean, it
like
was just like
a one
accelerationism, though.
100% electoral democracy, where, for example, everyone would have to be, forced to vote. Blah 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 would be very very bad, and we do not want everyone to vote. He said this because, for
Communism is
example,
based.
and when he said this, he used the following example. Imagine if all Germans had to vote on, for example, the question of should we allow immigrants in or not, and refugees, or even
Yeah,
should
I
we
saw
kick
that one
out
too.
all the brown motherfuckers. And yes, I think 51% of Germany would vote kick them the fuck out. So the concept of absolute democracy is also very problematic, which was
Well,
a
yeah,
hot take.
but him
People
saying
really
that,
hated.
right? The thing
He
is, in,
called it.
in his hot take, I've read I've read what he said there before, so I know what you're talking about. But in his hot take there, he didn't factor in, that he's not really thinking about. Well, I'm sure he is thinking about. He just doesn't mention it for some reason, obviously, because I think it's bad for his argument. That like obviously the reason why they would vote to kick all the refugees out is not because like that's their true unmanipulated democratic will. It's because that's like that's their what they want in the context of like the media telling them what they want and like the ideology of the system in which they live in telling them what they want, etc. Right? It's not like true
True.
democracy, anyways. Who gives a fuck, honestly?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think he kind of
Yeah, see
argued
that
that. Like he went like
he did.
in a really roundabout way. He said like obviously these Muslims are not like us Westerners. They're not superior like us, but we should let them in anyway. Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you.
Yeah, I mean, the takes on the vast cultural differences and how we're very, very different. That was, very cringe old guy take, and very visibly like, man, you really never hung out with Muslims, bro.
It
Like,
feels
Jesus
like he
fucking Christ.
he knows.
They are not that like objectively, like,
Yeah, I mean, but if you
yeah.
read the article again, I don't know how long it was, but I read it like a couple of days ago because all the shit that he's been saying about trans people lately, and it was like,
Oh, what now? There's trans people
yeah,
stuff.
he
Oh
hates them
God,
as well. But like,
what? Jesus,
it's like he
stop.
starts with a
Oh
conclusion that is
God.
like, obviously we should let in the refugees, and then he writes an article like basically arguing not to do that, and then he nonetheless concludes that we should let them in anyway. It's just I don't know. It's like it's really weird.
It's weird. Yeah. He's a weird guy. But you were saying what he tried to. What is he saying about trans people?
Oh, lately he's just taken like the generic Tucker Carlson, Fox News line on trans people, like UK turf sort of thing. I haven't read it in depth because I mean I've read that 1,000 times before. I don't need to read it just because he's saying it now. So it's not really. He's been saying that for like 6 years now. By the way, I don't understand how people haven't caught on to it until now. He's been saying the same shit about trans people for 5 or 6 years. Like, you know,
I don't know.
trans identities are woke authoritarianism. He's like Jordan Peterson on that.
What really? I haven't seen that. Okay, I'll look into it. I'll
If
look
you look
into it.
into it, you will find easily, I think, 10 different opinion articles he's written over the last 5 years that all basically say the same thing.
What the fuck? Okay, I'll look into it. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I don't. He's a crazy old man. What can you say?
Yep. Yep. I just wish I don't know, like when he writes, it is like 50% of his books are some are pretty good, but when he writes, it's like so fucking easy to understand. I think that's also a big reason of why he's popular. Why he was popular. He's no longer popular. He's trying to become
I think
popular
the reason
again.
he's popular is a lot simpler. It's because at a certain point in history, he was useful to the mainstream media, and that's how he got popular.
Of course. That
Like in the mid
it's
90s, someone who was like, and ostensibly a socialist who also hated Yugoslavia and loved neoliberalism, that was a pretty good person to have in the media.
exactly. People really needed a progressive from an ex-socialist project that's going to say, "I am progressive socially, especially because obviously we don't talk about the economy, but I
Yeah.
also disagree with this particular socialist experiment or country existing, etc., etc." Um, so yeah, he was perfect for that. Do I think he massively changed and may potentially radicalized in his later years? Absolutely. But did he then, in his much later years, turn into like a hardcore doomer pillar? Yes, he absolutely fucking did. At this point, he's milk toast. We should elect things into power, etc., etc.
Like Donald Trump.
Reformist.
At least
Yeah,
Donald Trump like was funnier than the alternative. If you ignore like probably hundreds of people who were killed because of him like inciting them to kill people, if you ignore that, he was very funny.
yep. Orange man say funny thing. The rest of the world really enjoyed it, because we didn't have to get shot up in schools or get even bigger cuts in medical health care and all the other shit that he did.
Did you see that he's
It was
back to doing
very
Trump
funny.
stuff? He
Oh
went
yeah,
to
yeah.
like
Now
the
he went
train,
to.
the city where the train derailed, East Palestine. He
I
went to
know.
McDonald's. That was
I
fantastic.
probably know the menu better than anyone in this room.
What a great guy!
Fucking hell, man!
Like,
If he was,
if Trump comes
imagine
back off
alternative.
this, if they
Imagine
somehow let him come back, I will die.
I don't know. But imagine a socialist Trump. We would rule the world. We
Yeah,
would rule
probably.
every corner of the planet.
No, like
Like
just
no,
some guy who like went into like fast food restaurants and tried to pretend that he was like the people who were there. That would work probably.
that would work.
I
It's
mean,
just
that's
the
the
cost.
thing about Trump is like he's incredibly rich, but he has the like the taste of someone who like has never tried anything beyond like a hamburger before in their life. Like I can appreciate that.
Yeah, he knows how to. When you know how to tap into what NPCs really give a fuck about, which is usually I don't know what you eat, how you dress, and
Oh yeah,
what
it's like
color
he's just
your
like
walls
me.
are, and what you watch on Netflix. Yeah, and he's just like me. But everybody tries to do the "he's just like me" thing. Like absolutely everybody. But people usually overthink. Uh, just how underthink. Sorry, just how basic
That's why Trump
motherfuckers.
is successful. He doesn't think. He just like pretends to be like you, and he wings it. He hasn't thought about it at all. He just does it.
His bigotry towards poor people and him thinking that they're extremely fucking stupid actually works because respectfully a lot of them are very fucking stupid, so it co-aligns. And obviously they're people aren't born stupid. This is due to material conditions, due to them living in the
No,
capitalist
you
hellscape,
can't say
which
that. There's
then
no such
blah blah
thing
blah
as
blah blah.
capitalist hellscape. The only thing that we need equal rights for gay people to join the military and bomb brown people in Iraq and Afghanistan. Nothing else. Don't talk about economics.
Never. The I don't know. Every other like TikTok or whatever the fuck I see of like U.S. military guys recording each other and shit. Like I think like I fucking every other person is a fucking immigrant in the U.S. Army.
Hmm.
Like, how do you make this guy run up a hill and shoot a motherfucker? Like, there's absolutely no loyalty to the state. You're just an immigrant,
Well, because
especially to
it's
the American state. I don't know.
I
It's
don't know, the
weird. But
American,
usually, I don't know. It
the
probably
military
Communism is
TikToks and shit
based.
are fucking dystopian though. It's insane. That shit is amazing. Like, it's like, dude, it's like, can you imagine like World War II if there was TikTok? Like fucking the Wehrmacht guys, like, haha, just purge the village, selfie.
Mhm.
It's that
I
sort of
was
thing.
but it's unfortunately it's not as dystopian as I would like it to be. Uh, I was expecting much more footage both from the Russian and the Ukrainian side now in this war. I was expecting a shit ton of footage all the fucking time.
There is a
Um,
lot of
you
it,
know,
but
a
it's not
decent
like.
amount, but
Mm.
I thought there would be whole YouTube channels
I
of
do think it's
uh,
probably getting removed a lot if it's violent. You know, they don't like that.
probably. My daily routine as Azov battalion member, my
Oh no,
how I
well, their
how
daily
I get
routine
ready.
is to get like all arrested and captured by Russia, and then also the next day get traded back for some reason.
Fucking cringe. Talk about fucking cringe, right? You pitch to your whole country that the main reason that you're going there is to denazify. You capture the most radical, literal Nazis in the country, and then you ship them the fuck back
Yeah.
for your cousin, bro. Or you,
Hey, while if we're
it's
covering the Iraq War, I need to show you like this clip of like this like American trans woman who went to the Iraq War. What was I saying? Like the Ukraine War,
yeah.
and joined the Ukrainian army.
I think I saw the play it.
Um,
Yeah.
and she just like goes on like TV and talks about how Russians are subhuman and stuff. But she still gets like
Hmm.
cited in like the NBC and shit as like an expert. And she has like a Wikipedia article that doesn't mention the fact that she calls Russians subhumans. Hold on, I'm
Hmm.
gonna play the clip and I'll send it to you too, so that you can watch it. Otherwise, I don't know how this shit works. You probably can't watch my stream with sound on it. It's gonna get like feedback.
Yeah. No worries. Play it.
Don't I
Tell
have
me
to
when I can
find
speak
it?
after
One
you.
here it is. It's the most insane thing you're ever gonna see.
I know. I've seen it. It's pretty edgy.
Oh my god, you've
Uh,
seen everything.
yeah. I don't have a life really.
So like
Well,
she was
this.
apparently a war correspondent, and then she decided to join the Russian army because she has like a deep personal hatred of Russians as like human beings, and she cited in the mainstream American media, like, and it's insane that like just thinking about the sort of things that these people will like let fly just because they agree with them on like, yeah, we should fight Russia or whatever. Like it's completely fucking insane. Can you imagine like someone like a Palestinian saying something like this, for example? Hold on,
Man, it will be
my shit's not
plastered
working.
in every corner of every media blog. It's a classic fucking
This clip, okay, I'm gonna play it now. 1 second.
play. Okay.
So this is like incredible, brave trans woman, anti-Russian soldier.
And you understand in that moment what terrorism and what evil is. And then you realize in that same moment was the brightness. So the worst moment of the war for me was also the brightest. Because as I stood over her intestines, I understood that we
Oh my god.
here in Ukraine and across the world who have souls and who are not Russians, who are not animals, who are not subhumans, could still make humanity out of that. That was still the remains of a mother, of a wife.
As I stood over her intestines, I realized that I am not like the Russian subhuman animals. And that was a really bright moment for me.
What did she say that?
Yes. Okay,
Oh
you haven't
God.
seen it then.
No, the one you sent me, I just watched it, but yeah.
This woman is cited in the BBC and shit. Hold on, let me just do a quick search. Sarah Ashton Cirillo. She has like a wiki article. She's just like gets like mainstream news coverage. She's on CBS News. Like there's videos of her on CBS News from like 2 days ago. Washington Blade. Like she's just cited in the mainstream media. Like she's just a normal, neutral American journalist who enlisted in the Ukrainian army. You know, nothing suspect about her. She definitely isn't like fighting a racial Nazi war against the Asiatic hordes or anything. As she stands
No,
over
not
the
at all.
intestines of the mother.
Like if somebody told me there's a racist trans American woman fighting for the Ukrainians against Russia, and that's like a movie script, I would be like, that's a very unrealistic, stupid
It,
movie script. But
I think
no,
it's very realistic
reality,
these days because this is like what you said about not talking about economics. This is where it leads you. Because all that matters is like the identity categories and really nothing else, I guess. So
absolutely
you
not.
know, we can just somehow gloss over the fact that for her, this is not like a war to defend Ukraine against like an imperialist invasion. It's a war for like racial supremacy against the subhuman animals. But she's trans,
Exactly.
so that makes it okay. She's trans and she's on the side of American imperialism, so that makes it okay.
So how could she
What we
ever be
need is
saying
more
anything
people
bad?
like her in the military. We don't need anything else. That's all. Just we need to get more trans people who think that their enemies are subhuman in the military.
Exactly. I don't know what she expects what will happen with her after the war ends, but
I mean, she'll
you know,
probably just go back to fucking the USA and then like build like a 30-year long speaking and book ghostwriting career off
exactly,
her like joining a war and probably doing nothing useful and also being
exactly,
racist.
yeah,
That's what
because
George Orwell did.
exactly, but because I'm not sure that she would have a grand time in whatever in case Ukraine wins the war, whatever
That's a
government
very
is going to
funny thing
get
is
that
like the
thing.
way that Ukraine has been trying to like appeal to like the Western like liberal like hawks who like want to spread global capitalism and neoliberalism, but who also want equal rights for trans people to be like crushed under its boot. Like that they forced the Ukrainian government to like do a PR thing where they like gave gay people some rights and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
At the same time that
It's
the government is using the war as a cover to abolish labor laws and shit, because, you know, why wouldn't they? It's the perfect opportunity.
I feel like everyone, because obviously capitalism. I'm not going to say cliches here. Accepted that you can no longer be extremely bigoted towards one particular group of people, and you cannot say it out loud, but there's this, like a corked up bottle of champagne that just like the pressure is right there, and if you move the cork only a bit up, it's going to fly into right into the sky. And when it comes to people really needing, waiting for the perfect excuse for them to be extremely bigoted towards one group of another, it's this case with the Russo-Ukrainian war was an absolute gold mine for people to just say the most insanely deranged fucking things about the Asiatic
Yeah, about
hordes
Russians,
of
like
Eastern
the
Russia,
nature
and
of
that,
Russians and shit.
or for example, literally all of Reddit really needing to find a reason
Oh
to
yeah.
be xenophobic as fuck and extremely racist
Like if they're
towards
already as racist
all
as they
Chinese
are now, imagine like if there is like an actual conflict with China. Imagine how
conflict. Oh
they're just
God,
waiting.
man.
They're waiting for it. They've got like the script all written up already about how like Chinese people are like innately murderous or something. They just want to throw it out there. But for now they have to preface it with, I mean the government, not the people.
Exactly. The number of racists, if you're listening from America, especially, the number of racists you're probably friends with is probably fucking insane. There's just, no context that would allow them to explode in this manner. I mean, post 9/11, everybody was fucking, yes, fucking, can fuck with the Muslims, no motherfuckers, all of them terrorists. Now, and then, we moved through many different ethnicities and racial groups and religions. Now some random Russian over up in the fucking north that fucking is chopping wood all day is now a subhuman because
Yeah.
Putin woke up one morning and said, we
Oh
gotta
yeah.
stop NATO expansion or whatever the fuck, or I want to
And
measure dicks,
and you
whatever
see
his
it.
reason was.
You see it every day
Yeah,
too. Like simultaneously, the Russian has no political rights, and he lives in an authoritarian dictatorship. But he's also, he lives. Everything's propaganda. There's nothing real. Blah. But he's also completely responsible for what the
yeah.
government does. Whereas the
It's like
U.S., democracy, freedom, 80% support for the Iraq War. However, the American is not responsible for what followed.
exactly, and like what when you look at, for example, fake countries like Lithuania, Estonia, and then that fucking region there that
Well,
I
Lithuania isn't a country. It's just a like basketball corporation. I know what you're talking about. It's not a real country.
exactly. Their hot takes are a gold mine. I even I have a burner account and I follow them specifically just to
You follow like
fucking
all
be
800,000 of them.
all 800,000, all 80 of them, all the rest of them wash toilets in the UK.
Yeah, that's
I
that.
can
That's a
make
fucking
this
dream.
joke. I can make this joke because I'm from
Well,
East
I'm
Europe.
making it
Don't
too.
fucking
All the rest of them want to wash toilets in the UK. It's racist
but
because I'm not Slavic. No, I'm Greek.
I
That's
love.
Slav adjacent.
Oh, if you're part Greek, we accept you, my friend.
Okay,
But
do you give me the
no,
card?
we give you the card.
Okay. What's an anti-Slav
You
slur?
you hate
I want to say it.
Turks as much as us. An anti-Slav slur? I don't know. I don't think. Huh. I'll think about it, and later in the stream I'll
Okay, I
tell you.
need to say it. So
Um, but what was I saying, man? Now you fucking
sorry, I
derailed me
ruined
as
it.
fuck. I don't know. Oh yeah, the hot takes from Estonia, Lithuania,
Ah,
etc.,
yeah.
etc. At the same time, they're like, why aren't the Russians rebelling right now and like overthrowing this piece of shit? And then literally 10 minutes later, they will be like, we are banning entry of all Russians into our country. We are not giving visas to any Russians that are coming to our country. Actually, the Russians we currently have in our country, we're gonna start deporting those motherfuckers back to. What the fuck are you like? People that are against whatever is going on, they wanna emigrate, or people that potentially have been called up to arms, with
Yeah. I mean,
potential
that's
penalty
what they say.
of 10
Like,
years in 15 years in jail, and wanna leave. Then you close the border for
yeah,
them.
like
It's
they
absolutely not.
simultaneously say like all Russians support Putin, and also we're going to give them more Russians to support Putin, apparently, rather than just have them like leave. It makes a lot of sense, I guess.
Makes absolute a lot of sense.
And yeah, I mean,
Meanwhile,
like the Estonians and shit, they're the worst. Like every second, like fucking NAFO account is Estonian.
yeah, they're uh, they're in a very special, as we like to say in my part of the world, they're in a very interesting movie, in their head that
Yeah, I
they're
mean, and
playing.
I guess they need to take some solace between like cleaning a toilet in an American McDonald's by posting on
Oh,
Twitter.
oh Lord. But yeah, no, it's the deranged racism will always, and xenophobia will always be deranged. Um, just the only point I was trying to make is that I found it relatively surprising just how many people kept it inside. And, when the cork opened, they really got foamy at the mouth.
Oh,
Ah,
they
there
were
you go.
waiting. They've been waiting
Yeah.
forever, man. Like, I mean, these are, I'm sure you know these are countries where like they have annual parades to celebrate like Nazi collaborators.
Yeah, but not talking in general, like globally in the West, etc.,
Uh-huh.
etc.
Yeah, as
There
well.
were,
I mean, they also have
especially
those parades
weird
in the
when
West.
Germans fucking do it. There's like mainstream German TV, fucking 9 p.m. on a Friday type of shows and shit.
Yeah, I mean, the only
Germans
reason why like
talking about how Ukrainians are superior to Russians because they are, not as subhuman as those in
yeah,
the
like
Far
you know,
East.
at least the German ideology is kind of evolving a little bit. It used to be that they were all subhuman. Now only half of them are. That's a bit of an
Uh,
evolution.
Wait for the war to end. They're gonna be subhumans again. They're not gonna
But
want any
they'll
of
be
them.
subhumans with permission to come and clean toilets, so it's different.
Exactly. Poland like got, I don't know, a couple of million Ukrainians even when the OG war started in 2014, and now they got even more, which is really good for their economy because they
Yeah,
really
because
need like
the like their young people leave to go and clean toilets in the UK because that capitalism very
exactly.
good, and they get replaced with Ukrainians. It's like the human
That's exactly
centipede
what's going on.
of toilet
Yep,
cleaning.
yep, yep. Yep, but and the Polish like government said this multiple times. A few ministers said it multiple times that it's different when we take Ukrainian refugees because the blood will not
Precisely.
be dirtied, etc., etc.
Yeah, I mean,
But I'm still
it
pretty
is.
sure that they're
It's
gonna
not just
give you
that. It's
bad
also
looks.
like
Bad looks if you're a Polish woman and you marry a Ukrainian. I don't think that shit would fly. But Polish men marrying Ukrainian women, that would be
I mean, there are literally
creating more
YouTube channels like entirely dedicated to like picking up your Ukrainian refugee lady.
Fucking, I love that. I love that. It's absolute fucking gold. It always existed, but now it's like
Yeah, I mean, there's
additional,
always
like
been like,
save her from
what do you
war.
call it? Like mail
Save
order
her from
bride.
more. Yeah, yeah. Mail order war bride this time.
It's even
Fucking
worse.
drone delivery.
Like
They put
she's only with you because a
put
drone blocked
Ukrainian
her
women in
house.
a Bayraktar and
How
they
like
shoot it out over
imagine
into
telling
the.
your kids that story. Well, your mother only only got together with me out of desperation because her house was blown up and she had not a penny to her name anymore. Tell that to your kids.
Now that is a beautiful capitalist, romantic, modern 21st
Yeah.
century story. That script would sell like a motherfucker. Ugh.
There's another thing with the refugees as well. Like it's obviously it's racism like 90%, but there is a 10% where it's like, refugees from Syria or whatever might not specifically be indoctrinated into like the capitalist ideology just yet. They might not like think that cleaning toilets they will be able to advance in society or whatever. Whereas someone from like Western Ukraine is very likely to already believe that sort of thing. So they'll probably be
Yeah.
happier to just clean the toilets forever without kicking up a fuss.
And it's a bit of sexism involved as well, because most refugees from Ukraine are women, like
Yeah, they don't let
absolute
the men
vast
leave.
majority.
And I mean, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure, like, because I did see a video. Like, I saw a video that was like borderline racist. I don't know. I don't think the guy himself was racist, but the replies certainly were, of like a Ukrainian refugee in the US, and he was a man. And he got like, he tried to sell like an iPhone or something to some black guys and they stole it. Every single response was like, haha, that's what you get because they're black, obviously. But
yeah, I
still,
saw that.
the other half of the responses were like, why aren't you in Ukraine fighting, military age male? Like, holy shit.
They turn on you real quick, those NAFO guys, don't they? It's fucking classic.
Unbelievable. Yeah,
Uh,
like every
But then
single
also the
response was
others. Let's shit
disgusting.
on the others as well, man. All the like relatively large Twitter pro-Russian pages that let's say, post about the POV of the Russian army. There's a lot that post from the POV of the Ukrainian army, both private and state supported. But there's only a few relatively large ones that, in English at least, post from the perspective of pro Russia. Uh, and I followed a lot of them because I wanted to, see both sides, quote unquote. Yes, I know I sound like a fucking degenerate centrist, but all of them turned out to be like fascistic, tsarist,
Oh, yeah, of
psycho
course.
imbeciles, like crypto fascists and shit. It was like fucking gold. I'm like, I can't find anyone to root for, as they say. It's incredible, but yeah,
I mean, it's
that's
it's impossible to tell what the fuck is going on especially in terms of numbers and shit. Like Ukraine says, like every 2 weeks, we have killed 300,000 Russian soldiers. Like, I do not
yeah,
believe it's possible to fight a war where you kill 300,000 people in one
we
country
we
in 1 year, unless
we
like they're
we
literally
will never
doing
we will not.
actual human wave attacks, which was always a myth in the first place. So
Yeah, we will know like 10 years after the war ends or some shit.
I'm not even sure,
If
man.
it ever ends, it doesn't become just a frozen conflict forever. Um, with the Balkan Yugoslav wars, it took 7-8 years to count
What was
up
like the
everyone.
toll of like all of those wars? Do you know? Like, is there a big number that people cite?
I think around 150,000
Yeah,
people.
and that's like incredibly brutal ethnic, like 7 8 year
Yeah, yeah.
long ethnic conflict.
We
So
were much more efficient than than the Ukrainians and the Russians. We really knew how to round up quickly and dispatch, as the Americans like to say. A lot of people
yeah,
tick
they have a
tick
lot
tick.
of that
So
euphemisms.
maybe we'll know. Maybe we'll hear about the same shit happening over there. But the main two reasons I don't think it's happening as much, at least, is because internet. And when the enemy troops, or who you consider the enemy, being on the outskirts of your village or your town, you will know and you will evacuate.
Mhm.
In the Balkan Wars, it was literally you just start hearing tanks rolling through your city. You're like, what the fuck? And then you put against the wall and have your brains blown out. And then the other group passes through the village, sees dad being killed because he's this ethnicity, continues over into the next village, which is the other ethnicity, and then proceeds to put everyone against the wall and shoot them there as revenge for the first village, and repeat, 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 repeat. Well, here, it's a very high tech conflict. It's a proper
Yeah.
2022, 2023 conflict. So people are informed on when to evacuate. People have much more freedom of movement, because especially if
Yeah, I mean, there is like
actually on both
relatively
sides,
low.
the Russians are accepted directly and given visas and even passports to go into Russia, that want to run from the conflict, and the Ukrainians, unless you're male, uh, very easily can get a visa pretty much everywhere in the European
Yeah,
Union.
like
So
Russians are coming to Argentina now. They love
oh
it
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're having
I
their
one of
babies
my
here.
Russian friends will maybe migrate to Argentina as well. Yeah.
You have to have a
Lots
baby
here
though.
where I live, in this particular Balkan country that I live, like shit ton of them. Uh, like 40% of my friends are Russians and Ukrainians, and yes, they hang out with each other, which was very impressive, because like Serbs, Croats, Bosniaks, we really hated each other like hardcore when the conflicts were happening. While these guys managed to abstracate themselves
Well, yeah, I mean, I
from the
think a lot
conflict,
of,
and
or
treat
at
each other
least,
like humans, right?
yeah, like
Though some
relatively more
jokes are
people,
sometimes made. Mhm.
relatively more
Yeah,
people in Ukraine than in like the Balkan War understand that as like, not an ethnic conflict, though a lot of them obviously do not, but it's not
yeah.
exactly the same.
The current estimates official by the UN, I think it's around 8,000 civilians that have died, which is
Yeah, I was going to say that's
absolutely
like
disgusting and horrendous.
relatively,
But that
well,
is
yeah,
not
obviously it's
relatively,
horrendous,
it's
but
objectively, objectively very small now. I'm sorry, their
for the
hot take or
intensity
whatever.
of the war and like
Yeah,
the scale of it, it's relatively low. But I mean, there's still plenty of occasions where Russia seems to have targeted civilians intentionally still. But like that's like the U.S. managed to kill way more than that in just like 1 year of the Iraq War, and they're supposedly the higher tech country. Though I think a lot of it might just be because the Russians are not winning the war as hard as they would like
yeah,
to be.
absolutely. And Ukrainians have the
Yeah, they have
intelligence
all the
department
support
of the
from
US,
the
but
Yankees.
they evacuate, etc., etc. And also the Russians don't want the horrible PR of
Yeah, I mean, the entire
uh,
reason that Russia
and
is there, at least ostensibly, is because they want to conquer territory. And what use is the territory if no one fucking lives there? So it's kind of
exactly.
counterintuitive, though, that
It
people are
is.
still leaving.
This
So it's like, what are they going to do?
every
They're going to
post
like settle like a bunch of small Ukrainian villages with Russians, and when having those people living in cities is probably more valuable for you economically.
all
So
of
what's
them
the
are just
point?
gonna go wash toilets in Western Europe again, even no matter what fucking side Western Europe, no matter what fucking side wins. All post-socialist conflicts. This is the second larger one that we've seen after the Yugoslav war. Is always a messy spectacle of this side using these particular arguments, that side using those other particular arguments to start a international conflict. Well, absolutely nobody talks about how everybody's basically fucking starving in the country, and how to actually improve living standards, or how to
Yeah, I mean,
create an
it's
image of the future that was as powerful as when the socialism was tried on those territories.
I mean,
There
the
is
fact of the
no
matter
there's no
is,
vision, there's no image, etc., etc. So always they go for let's take a bit of the land from the neighbor because
yeah, I
that
mean,
was
there's no
originally ours,
meaningful, like,
etc., etc.
really, in terms of like actual politics, in terms of policy. If you are a part of the Russian state or the Ukrainian state, there's not really much of a difference. What is different is just rank nationalism, like which state gets to have this territory and have the pride of holding this territory or conquering it, depending on which side is doing what. And like
Exactly.
it's the same. It's
But
like what happened in Crimea is they annexed it and shit went on generally because there wasn't a conflict over it. Like I'm not saying it's justified or anything, but like it is at its core just about the sovereignty of nation states. And I'm sorry, but who gives a fuck that much? It's
I
not
agree
worth fighting
completely,
a
man.
war over.
right for self-declaration, sovereignty of states, etc., etc. All of these concepts inside of the larger capitalist framework are just so flimsy, and they can very easily be used by either side of a particular conflict to say, this is why I'm starting this particular conflict. But 99% of the time, that conflict is started so that people don't look down at their don't look into their fridges and see just how empty they are,
Yeah.
because they're given MREs and they're sent to the fucking front. So um
Yeah, I mean, every single conflict like ever is framed as like, at least in the era of nation states, it's framed as the rights of states. Like not like the rights of the people who live in these states to certain things, but no, like, oh, this was a violation of X country's sovereignty, or
exactly.
this was technically internationally illegal, but it was internationally illegal against like the rights of a nation state, not like the rights of any fucking human beings.
Yeah, yeah. Even sometimes when the argument of, we're protecting the interests of our people that exist in that other country, whenever it is used, in all of those wars after that, okay, sure, it switched. The minority in this country, can now put proudly the flag of their OG ethnic country in their front porch. Okay, great, and that's not the only thing they get. Their lives are in no way improved. They only had to go through the trauma of war, and they live the exact same life they lived before, sometimes even worse, just in a different country. Okay, good for you. Great. Bravo.
Yeah, truly fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. That's why, as cliche as it is, but I'm very stern on this usually. No war but class war. Because if you start really diving into any particular national conflict, I'm obviously not both siding this, but at one point it literally becomes a both siding thing, because country A is using point A, B, C, and D for why our state has been damaged and why we need to go to war, and then country B uses A, B, C, and D. Then one of the countries begins it, and then the country that is attacked only uses the argument, "Yo, they attacked us. That is why
Yeah.
everything that we do now is good," and then that continues until we have a victor or a loser, or like a eternally frozen conflict.
Yeah, I mean, this
I
might be
am
controversial.
simplifying. Yeah, say.
This might be controversial, but I think the bad thing about the Russian invasion of Ukraine is that like many people are dying and having their lives ruined rather than Ukraine might lose some territory.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. When one frames it from that perspective, yes. But looking at geopolitics as a game of risk or whatever the fuck, where country A is good guy, country B is bad guy, is simplistic to say the least. Because at the end of the day, every capitalist state is the bad guy from our point of view, and we should always remember that.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, but there are some bad guys who control many of the other bad guys.
Oh yes, the OG bad guys, the end level boss level 50
Yeah,
bad
like
guys.
Joseph Biden, he's currently the end level bad guy.
Do you think so, or is it
Oh no,
uh,
there's many more bad guys above him. I don't think they even
billionaires that
know they're
fund
bad
him?
guys.
He's like level 70 bad guy, which is very high because the maximum level cap for big boss is 75,
I need you
right?
to explain this to me like as if we're playing a Paradox video game.
Okay, so you have two
I've
sides.
never
The
played one of
world is
those, by the way, so I don't know what's going on.
I haven't either, so I'm just winging this. So you have an extremely badly written world where absolutely everything is black and white. The alternative to the current system absolutely does not exist. So you have the good side and the bad side. You have levels from 1 to 75 on how good or how bad you can be. And it works kind of like the political compass. There's different figures throughout history that are from level 1 good to level 75 good, and the closer with your actions as you get to those particular figures in history, the closer you get to your level. So if I don't know, Adolf Hitler is level 74, you would compare all your actions to that of Hitler in order to uh, define where you are on this political spectrum of evil or good, and that's how I would design the game. So you would want to do particular things that are as close to whatever figures level you wanna hit, and so it's a comparison point kind of, because I don't see any other way for us to make it like statistically possible. You get five bad guy points if you steal an apple. You get like 500 bad guy points if you stab a guy, but 550 bad guy points if you stab a
I
grandma.
don't think
But then
anyone's
like
following what you're saying.
what?
I don't think anyone's following what you're saying. This is too complicated.
That's what I'm saying. It's too complicated. So you just have a spectrum from 1 to 75 levels.
I just want to know what level is Joe
closer
Biden?
you
What
are,
powers does he have?
what powers does he have? I don't
Yes,
know.
in video
Being
games
an
you have
Irish laddie.
powers. He can do like the Kamehameha or something.
Okay, so you get powers if you get
Yeah.
higher levels. Okay, you're making the game even more interesting.
I
You
think
get the
his power
powers
is
of the
to like.
person.
His power is that he's actually controlled by a PR team and he's not sentient.
Hmm.
So it's not Joseph Biden, it's Joseph Biden's. And there's like the true face behind him.
I like that. That could work.
But yeah, I mean, I wasn't following that. I'm sorry. My brain doesn't work because what is it the streamers do? The streamers say like they say they're autistic. They self-diagnose as autistic post hoc after they get called out for like using ableist slurs. So I'm gonna do that now.
Ah, fucking classic. I love
R word.
Mm.
Done.
And
I
they're
was
like,
allowed
I
to say
can
that.
say it. Yeah,
I'm
I
allowed to
can
say it.
say
I mean, you did that earlier in the
I'm
stream.
allowed to say it.
You self-diagnose it as Slavic, so you could be racist to Slavs.
There you go. There you go. You see. Being Slavic is inherently autistic.
Basically,
Oh,
yeah.
well, one of my friends like had a genuine theory that if somebody, one particular Balkan country, if we did like mass testing, like he's like 90% of this country's populace would 100% be on the spectrum. Like what the fuck? And then I thought about it. I'm like, oh, maybe. But no, man.
I don't know.
It's
That might mean the test is racist.
okay, true.
Who knows?
Or that there's correlation between particular ethnicities and different whatever the fuck they're called.
Wait, elaborate on that. Tell us more about this race science.
And it's not. No, it's not. I don't know. I
It's
haven't
race
thought it through yet.
realism.
It's race realism, but with a spice of like ableism. When you say no, okay, all of us are Homo sapiens, right? And all of us are like 99.9% similar, right? So it's not saying that a particular ethnic group or racial group is bad. No, we're all good.
There are some
But
who are bad,
it's
like
believed,
Italians.
yeah, but it's but it's believed, for example, why Italians are particularly bad, because on average Italians are diagnosed as this or that particular, let's call it disability or whatever. That kind of race science. I think for particular fascist groupings, that could be a decent pitch. So instead of saying, I hate, instead of saying I hate, I don't fucking know Italians because they're Italians, you say I hate Italians because they all look like they have Down syndrome, right? So it's a ableist
Well, I don't hate them
racism
for
type.
that. I hate them because they are genetically fascist.
But
Like,
does that mean that fascists dress well and make decent food?
you have a video about that, don't you? Shit. Well, I guess so. But hold on, there's something relevant to this. Once I posted my famous tweet about how Italians are genetically fascist, and like a legitimate Italian Mussolini lover responded to me correcting the record. I have to bring that up now because I just remembered it.
Let me see.
Gotta find it. I don't even know where it is.
My ass hurts so much because of the
Why?
fucking chair I'm sitting in right now. Man, I've been sitting all day. I relatively hungover. I didn't even drink that much yesterday, but I'm like, I don't know, had a headache all day. And I have a weird thing when I'm hangover, like my legs hurt. The fuck, the muscles of my legs.
Well,
Nothing else. Not my stomach, not my head.
it's because you're
But
old.
hmm?
It's because you're
Yeah,
old.
probably. I'm
But
actually 74.
I mean, no, like 27 is old.
It is. It is.
Warning. Hold up. It's somewhere in my YouTube community posts, but I post like 5 of them per
If
day,
you
so
can,
I gotta
if you can
find it.
legally fuck you old.
You can
In your
legally fuck
definition.
me off.
No, if you can legally have sex, then you are old. Everybody else is young.
That's how some people think, at least. I'm not sure I agree with that
Exactly.
one. I'm not sure I'm allowed to agree with
No,
that.
no. That is not. I'm fucking around. I don't believe it.
But here is the tweet. I'll link you the pictures so you know what I'm talking about.
Did you
So
post
I
it?
posted like Italians are usually cranky before their morning prayers at the Mussolini statue, and I got a response by an account named Mussolini Fascista with the handle King Mussolini. And he responded saying, "You are a fool. We do worship Mussolini. However, we do not pray to him. You do not speak negatively of Italians. You're sick."
And that is a real person. That is absolutely fucking
It was a real
incredible,
like
man.
Italian account. It was a real Italian account. I fucking swear to God.
Oh man, this guy. They should put this guy in The Sopranos, bro. This is fucking classic. Absolutely
Not even
phenomenal.
The Sopranos. He'd be in like the what do you call the Sicilian crime family? He's like a legitimate Italian, like a real one, not a fake one from the
Yeah.
US.
The Cosa Nostra. Ah,
There's like the other one
fucking.
that has like an unpronounceable name that I'm pretty sure comes from Arabic as well.
Oh yeah, there's fuck, I can't remember.
You're the mafia
I mean,
expert. I mean, you're from the Balkans. You must be.
there's like 100 of them.
Like your avatar looks like a Russian mobster. Or maybe it's just how
Oh.
all Slavs look.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like it's Ndraghetto or something like that. There's no way that's an
Mhm.
Italian word. It's like an Arabic word. It has to be. But I
There
mean,
are no
Sicilians are
Italian.
basically Arabs. That's the only reason that they have sentience, thanks to the Arabic colonization. What's your opinion of the Arabic colonization of Europe? Was it good or bad?
Um, prefer not to comment. No, colonization is bad, obviously. But when I went to Sicily, like the influence was very evident. I mean, the coolest thing about Sicily is that you have like the same plot of land where like four imbecilic groups try to build a temple to whatever fucking spaghetti monster that they believe in. So you have the same place where you had like an ancient Greek temple. Then it was slightly modified by the Romans. Then it was half torn down so that they could build a church. Then it was torn down so that partially so you can build a mosque. Then it was torn down again to turn into a church. And there's like 7 different design patterns on it from what was left over from the previous colonizer, all in like one building that you can look at. Kind of beautiful at the same time as a testament to just how batshit fucking insane we all are.
Well, yeah, but also there's the fact that before the Arabs came there, they lived in mud huts, so it's kind of good colonialism in my opinion. But that reminds me of fucking the homeland of my people, Constantinople. That's what they did to our beautiful Hagia Sophia.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. There
Boo.
was a rule you could not build in the Ottoman Empire, for example. You could not build churches over a particular height, but people then fucked them over and they dug into the ground. So the church, yeah, sure would not be high aesthetically, but when you go inside, it would be quite large. But I guess respect to the Ottoman oppressor for he they could have just said, "Man, fuck you, you're going around the law, just burn down the church." But they were like, "Okay, fair played, Slav, fair played. You can keep your fucking church thing."
Fair
Um,
played. Oh, weren't the Ottomans like very tributary though? More so than like they did they conquered you, they made you pay them, and they made you send castrated children to be soldiers.
yeah, Exactly. That last part especially is fucking phenomenal. And then they would send your castrated son back to your village to
Oh, they did.
finger rape your own mother, you
Oh,
know?
but first he said hi, so it's okay.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, yeah.
Hi,
But
mom.
no, he
Anyway,
would.
goodbye.
Oh, but he wouldn't be able to say hi because they didn't
Oh, they didn't
let
teach them
him
to
learn
speak.
his native language. You know,
Oh, that's sad.
it's called the blood tax, as we used to call it, danak u krvi, and a
So
lot
they
of
did that not
parents, in
just
order
in
to
Greece; they did it everywhere else as well.
no everywhere, man, absolutely everywhere. I love how every Balkan country thinks they're special, and only they had 500 years of slavery under the
Well, they
Turks.
didn't teach me this
Them,
in Greek school. All they taught me in Greek school was like how to mispronounce English words.
fucking class, and that everything is Greek. Everything is Greek. This Greek, that
We
Greek. I
didn't. We
love
didn't even
Greek.
get
Everything
that
Greek.
far.
Greek sperm, Greek God.
Exactly.
But
Strong sperm.
strong sperm, strong sperm.
Yeah.
Not sperm, sperm.
I mean,
There you go.
yeah.
Very good,
Your
very
strong
good.
sperm voice is exactly as it
Calimari,
was originally.
Calimera, Calispera, Greek God. Yes, yes.
There
Greek
we
God,
go.
good sperm. The fucking no, I've been to Greece like 15 times. I fucking love that country, and I love Greeks, man. They're fucking
You've been there
hilarious.
more than me.
Uh, and
I've been there 0 times.
there you go. Odd flex, but okay, bro. But what was I say? Oh yeah.
I'm still
So
Greek
parents
though,
would like,
just like Americans
yep.
who claim like every ethnicity ever.
Dude, at this point, you're like every ethnicity ever. Like
Yeah, I
you're
mean, I'm vaguely
Australian,
ethnic.
you're
Surely you're still
Argentinian,
the vaguely
you
ethnic
are
event.
Greek. Yeah, yeah. That's why you grow out the beard so much, so that people are like, is he
He's
like
very vaguely
a
ethnic.
white ass Arab? Is he
He could be
like
anything.
potentially part Latino? Yeah, he could be anything. Look at those big white teeth as well.
I had
So you
someone
know,
yesterday say to me like, you're really white," and I took offense to that because I don't know that I'm vaguely ethnic. Like they were
when
like
people
saying it
tell me
like
that,
aesthetically, like, "Wow, your
like,
skin is
thank you.
so white. Look how white I
Uh,
am. I'm so white."
yeah. But aren't like all Argentinians like the whitest people on planet Earth? So it's
Like half of them, and then there's the other
I
half
know
that they don't
fucking
talk
wrong,
about.
right?
They pretend they don't
Exactly the
exist.
one that is in no ads. That is in absolutely nothing. Oh, but no, my favorite thing is when like Americans go abroad and shit, and they're surprised, or even Western Europeans, and they're surprised that inflation exists in other countries too. So a lot of places that they think are extremely cheap are actually not that fucking cheap. For example, when I tell people, you need like between 250,000 to 350,000 euros, so between 280 90k to 380 90k dollars to buy a flat in like most Balkan countries in the capital city. They're like, what the fuck, man,
Damn,
man,
that's a
that's how
fucking
much it
expensive
costs.
coffee.
That's how much it costs in my fucking village over here in the States. But or expensive fucking €5 coffee. They're like, what the fuck? That's not supposed to, like,
You
when we
didn't get my
visit
joke. You're not embroiled in the
this expensive.
hipster cafe
Oh no, I'm
culture
not.
enough. Flat
No,
is a
no, I'm
type of
not.
coffee. Ha 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 ha. A
Haha,
preparation. Lol.
that didn't
But you
land.
know what's more
But it
important
was
than all of this? The Chinese balloon.
yes,
What is your
it
opinion on the
was.
Chinese balloon?
I still don't know what fucking gender it
And then
is.
afterwards,
When it
like
popped,
they
like
spent like a $500,000 missile to shoot down like a bunch of kids' science projects.
it's to me it's like the same as the racism conversation we had previously. Like Americans really want another 9/11 to happen to them. They're like
That was like
fucking
that
great.
9/11. Like it's so
But
funny.
yeah,
Like there was a national scandal about the Chinese balloon, and then like 2 days later, a train derails and like renders an entire town
yeah,
an
yeah,
exclusion zone,
American Chernobyl, bro. Yeah.
and no one
Uh,
cared about it in comparison, at least. Like people cared about it, obviously, but the president sure didn't give a shit about it. He gave a couple of conferences about the Chinese balloon, but he didn't have a single conference
Praise
for the
be to
fucking
Allah.
Chernobyl, mini Chernobyl.
Could you tell me and your lovely audience as well, because you probably followed it a lot more than I did, but what was in the train? How toxic is that?
I
How
have
is it
no idea.
impacting the local
It's just
town?
funny to pretend that it was like a Chernobyl, but
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think anyone died, but like it's toxic enough that everyone had to move away and their houses are probably just gone. They're not going to be able to move back. But I haven't actually, looked into it beyond that.
Okay.
Someone
Okay.
says
I thought
polyvinyl chloride, which sounds bad, but not like so bad that like it's going to kill a million people in like the surrounding area, but bad enough that like probably the people who live there, like the entire town is basically fucked.
pretty much. But and it's like, we should give the Soviets shit for Chernobyl because that was a massive fuck up. Take an L when you need to take an L.
The
But
Japanese had well, it wasn't as much their fault because it was because of a tsunami, but still, you're supposed to have the
of
measures in
course, of
place to
course,
prevent something like that. But they had like their own sort of Chernobyl, but it's not it's not presented in the same sort of way as like
at
a crime
all.
of incompetence as when the USSR did it.
There's always going to be a twist. Like the show was relatively okay-ish, and then in the end, literally something that never happened in the actual court. They just added it to the film when the guy is directly telling the court this was a fuck up because we used cheap materials because our system is fucked up and nobody concentrates on quality.
Yeah,
Everybody
obviously they
concentrates.
had to like somehow indict the system,
Yeah, exactly.
and then
That was like literally one of the last three scenes. That's how it ends. So that
and then like the
it
Japanese
really gets hammered
nuclear
into
disaster
your head.
happened and like rendered like a massive area of the country an exclusion zone as well in perpetuity. But like, there's not going to be a movie about that one that denounces the system. I
Oh,
mean,
not
but
at all.
in
Not
both
at
cases, like it didn't have shit to do with the system. It had everything to do with just some massive like operational fuck ups and like not taking
Absolutely,
precautions.
absolutely.
But they
That's
try to
that's
make it out
exactly
like,
what
it's because the system made them cut corners, when in both cases that's not what it was at all. Because if there's anything that like capitalists don't fuck around with, it's nuclear energy, because they know how bad that can go if they fuck it up.
exactly. And that's what I was going towards. Like uh, the joke, it's bad that it happened in the Soviet Union, but thank God it happened in the Soviet Union because if it happened in the States, it would have massively fucked it up. The actually stopping
It
spread,
almost
etc.
happened in the States.
And,
There was
and now
an
and now
incident
with yeah,
once.
I know, but now with the Ohio train incident or whatever the fuck you want to call it, like we see what the fuck is
Yeah,
going on,
it's so
right? So
funny. Like
imagine
2 weeks later, Pete Buttigieg, this transportation secretary, this is his fucking job. He visits the site and he says, we can't do anything because the transport companies stop us from regulating this industry. Guy, you literally like you tell the president to pass an executive order right now and he can do it. What the fuck are you talking about?
like
It's
if
because you don't
you
want
the
to.
fucking minister,
You don't
if
need
you
that
the
permission.
minister not fucking do anything about this problem, then who the fuck is supposed to? That's why we elected you. I mean,
you don't need that permission. You just think you do.
Uh,
And it
and to
just it's
think that
like,
guy's dad was actually a Marxist, that is absolutely always baffling to me. That's my biggest nightmare.
wait,
To have a kid like
Buttigieg's dad
Buttigieg,
was a Marxist? I thought that was Kamala
apparently,
Harris's.
yeah. No,
Both of
Pete
them.
Buttigieg is. No, but I would. That's my worst nightmare. Like unironically, being a loving, caring, as much as it's in my Balkan capability.
Yeah, imagine your
parent
child
to
becomes
a
Pete
beautiful,
Buttigieg.
a beautiful young boy because I will never have a daughter because she will be thrown out of the window. I'm fucking no Jesus. I took that one a bit too far.
I have the other side of the equation.
Just
I don't
let
want
me
to have a
finish.
son because I don't want him to be a rapist.
Okay, that's brilliant. That's great. But yeah, my absolute biggest fear is that they will just turn into a fucking lib. Like, imagine having a lib child.
Oh god.
Like having a lib child.
That's
and,
why
like, them
I
coming
believe
to
in, like, I'm so pro-choice
whatever
that I believe
Argentinian
in
Thanksgiving is. Yeah. Mhm.
I believe in like 20-year post-birth abortion at the discretion of the
yes,
parents.
baby. Yes.
Once they start posting like NAFO TikToks, that's time.
No.
time.
I am. There needs to be like conversion therapy, but for liberals into Marxism. Oh wait, those are called gulags. Yeah, maybe we need
Yeah.
a few of those, but for our kids.
We've had them before. They work really well.
Hard labor, motherfucker. Hard labor. Oh,
Exactly. That's what we all just to reiterate, myself, the YouTuber BadEmpanada, and the YouTuber Yugopnik, we truly believe in forced labor for liberals. That is our position. I'm making sure that there can be no mistake there. When this is picked up by like Vice News or something, that is our position, 100%, no joke.
No joke. Yeah.
What do you think
also,
the headline will be?
Previously, also, what I said previously about if I get a daughter, I will throw her out of the window. That was also not a joke.
That's what people believe. Well, I think it was a joke, but yeah. I'll
No, it
give you.
wasn't.
I'll believe
Uh,
you.
Actually, I won't throw them out. No, I will. No, no. I was thinking like maybe, you know,
You
for
just have to make
domestic.
sure that she never contacts anyone named Justin Eric King, and she'll be okay.
That was a
Because we
good
know
one.
that he's looking around there for prey. We know it. So that,
Definitely. The most dystopian thing like I've seen in a long time is now throughout the like there's a product and okay great for the people that have developed it like I can't shit on them, right? But now they're placing these all over the states, little deposit boxes for babies,
what?
so that they don't find kids, in dumpsters and shit, or like frozen in front of a door
Why does that?
when
Is it happen because like they don't want that too like
yeah
ashamed to
when
enter
they
the
don't want
adoption
their child.
agency?
Yeah, exactly. And now there's a box that you open like as if you're delivering mail. And inside of the box, when it's put there, it's going to send a signal for people to come and pick it up. But it's warm inside and it checks the
Wow.
baby's vitals, and there's a camera,
This is
etc.,
something
etc.
that can only happen in a
I can't
country
even make
with
a
no
I can't
abortion.
even make a joke about at this point about like, it's like that is like holy shit. Not
This is,
even
I
like
mean, this is the logical conclusion of like American conservative ideology.
exactly,
Like,
exactly.
we want you to have a baby, but we don't want to do anything once there is the baby. So I guess you can just put it in a box and like some private adoption agency or whatever can take care of it. Who knows?
In a box, bro. In a
In a
box.
box.
You
God.
you come in a box, you leave in a box. That's gonna be instead of
I want those kids when they grow up to know that they were a box baby.
yeah, box babies. I'll call them box babies. They'll be good at boxing. Oh,
Maybe. Need to be
you wanna
Cuban to be good
start
at boxing.
wrapping up with me, my love?
Start what?
Wrapping up with me, my love.
Okay, you're already tired of me.
No, no, no.
This is what
I
always
love
happens to me.
this.
I fall in love and then they're like, "Can we get the check?"
Never. Mm. And then you don't split it. You don't want to split. Um, but what is the etiquette with gay dudes and splitting the check?
I don't
Who
know.
pays
That's a
the
good.
check?
I mean, if any woman expects me to split the check, she's in for a rude awakening. It's not happening. I'm a feminist. I believe you can pay.
Absolutely. I'm such a feminist. I slam the door in women's faces. Uh,
I'm so feminist that I make them pay the whole check for me.
I'm so feminist. I beat the shit out of them, not because they're a woman, but just because I want to beat the shit out of them.
Okay, that might be going a bit too far for being allowed on my Twitch channel. They're gonna ban me for that, but it's good because
Okay.
YouTube's better
Only
anyway.
in Minecraft, obviously. Only in
Only in
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Um,
But if you want to
I've
wrap
reached
up,
I've reached
what is
this
it that you want to tell
domestic
everyone before you wrap up? Like a big secret about
domestic
you.
domestic abuse jokes at 9 p.m. on Twitch with BadEmpanada. This
It's
went
free. It's free
exactly
20 p.m. here, and I think it's even
how
earlier in the US.
yeah, I mean, but that doesn't matter what time it is in Eastern Europe is the only thing that matters
Okay,
because now all eyes
in
on me.
Poland. He's Polish, by the way. If you didn't know.
I am absolutely Polish. Imagine, oh God, I love Poles, but I would never want to be a Pole.
Wait, so
There's
before
some
you leave, if we're
ethnicities.
gonna wrap up, there is a poll. A very, did you see my encounter with a poll on my channel? I had
A,
one.
a Polish guy?
A Polish woman. I had an encounter with a Polish woman on my channel.
No, what happened?
She didn't
That.
like my
Oh, I'm not
Holodomor
touching.
video.
I am not touching that with the longest
Wait,
stick.
did
With
the
the biggest
Holodomor
dick.
happen?
Huh?
Did the Holodomor happen? Was there a
All I'm
genocide
saying
committed
is
by Joseph Stalin?
that was the best, one of the best videos you've ever made. So that should tell you everything.
To be fair, I didn't make it. It was all your countrymen, your countrywoman who made it, and I just kind of watched.
No, I'm talking about the video you made about Wikipedia
Oh, the Holodomor
being.
one. Well, no,
Yeah.
it still pales in comparison to the Polish response, though. But yeah, that was a good. I just got I get 5 comments in that video every day saying, genocide. Why are you denying genocide, dude? Why are you denying genocide, dude? Like the video is right there before you that explains how it's not a genocide. You could at least like respond to it or try to respond to it. I mean, but that's like the Western brain. There are certain things that are facts, and that's just how it is.
Like to this day, I sometimes rewatch. It's one of my favorite videos ever, like of all time. Those guys, boy or whatever, when they went to get a haircut in North Korea. That's fucking incredible video.
Oh yeah.
And they in this video, they explain indirectly Western hypocrisy, how North Korea is not that fucking weird as you're making it out to be, the trauma of the Korean War, except blah
Yeah,
blah, all of
absolutely.
this shit. And it's
Oh, that reminds me of something that I wanted to bring up with you about North Korea that I forgot until right now. If we can do it before you leave.
Sure. And with it, it's the same thing. Like certain things are absolute taboo to say that they are more complicated. They're extremely black and white. And, what I learned in, grade 7 of American brainwashing in high school, that is what the eternal truth is. And if you at any point try to question that eternal truth, I lose my fucking mind. This is a peculiarly American, in my opinion, disease because I
I
don't
think it
see
is
it
too,
being
but I think a lot of the
as
people who say that
rampant.
to me are not American still, but they want to believe. A lot of them are Eastern European, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, what? Son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Oh.
and Boy is also good. I just discovered them recently. I never realized that the guy from the I Did a Thing channel is a communist, but it's a pleasant surprise. I would honestly suspected he was like a white supremacist.
You want an additional plot twist? I think one of them is originally from the Balkans.
Probably
We are
Croatia. There's lots of
everywhere,
those.
baby. We are everywhere, baby.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. But what I wanted to say that I forgot is, have you seen like the North Korean TikTok channel with like just random like still shots of like a street in North Korea, people going to work and shit?
Yeah. And then the insane
Yeah,
comments.
the comment, not just the comments, like the think pieces of the YouTube videos about it, like North Korea is doing TikTok propaganda.
Yeah.
And some of the videos might be propaganda. I don't know, they probably even are, because the ones that like have like little cute girl waves North Korean flag, she loves her country. Okay, maybe that's propaganda. But 90% of the videos are like someone has a phone and they just like film a street in North Korea during rush hour, and it's
Yeah.
like North Korean propaganda. Obviously, that's not propaganda. That's legitimately just what happens there. Like
And
they,
and a
that,
guy
that,
like
yeah, like
faints or whatever the fuck in the video, or like a guy gets sick and sits on the ground and people are passing him. Something that will happen in like 95% of countries always. And then all the comments are like, you see, in North Korea, he's like the sick are not touched because they do not have good medicine, because if they touch the sick person and they get sick, they will probably die, or some like insane take like that, because not everyone jumped to help a guy that randomly sat in the middle of the fucking street.
yeah.
Shit
I
like this is
mean,
absolutely gold.
it's that channel. Like most of its videos are just legitimately normal everyday shit. But that conception of what North Korea is like they don't conceive of their enemy countries as places where like 99% of people just like go to work and come home and then like do whatever they can with their free time like they do. They conceive of them as like everyone like lives in a labor camp or whatever. So someone just posting like a picture of like people going to work in like a video of people going to work in rush hour in North Korea, which is obviously a thing that happens, and it's treated like North Korea horrible state propaganda. Everyone should be skeptical of this. Like how would they even fake that? Like they would need to get like 2,000 people to like just fake going to work. Why would like how does the logic even work? Why would they even need to do that? It's like just going to a street in New York and just filming people going to work and then uploading it. But in North Korea, you do it and it's propaganda.
Because ask an American if any place outside of the US, Canada, and Western Europe has media, or do they have propaganda outlets?
No, they only
Like,
have media. Same thing. It's like when the right wing protests, it's the people. When the left wing protests, it's like activists.
exactly. And everything outside of the US, Canada, and Western Europe only has propaganda outlets. They don't have absolutely anything else. And everybody loves mentioning that this is a state outlet. Nobody loves mentioning, the capital that comes behind every single private outlet and the interests that serves, etc. Cliches that your audience already knows perfectly well. I'm not going to
I don't think they know
bore
well.
you
They're
with.
very stupid.
We're here for shit
I
talking,
believe I
but
said the same thing to you last time we talked. My audience is
yeah,
very
yeah.
dumb. Don't give them any credit.
Well, then you picked a great guest because I'm dumb as well, and we fit perfectly.
Oh, sorry, I forgot you're my audience. Well, okay, well, whatever. As long as it's true. As long as you're
Oh
dumb.
shit! Yeah, I am in your audience, man. I actually do fucking watch a lot of your shit, and it's like,
You're not allowed to say that. You're gonna get cancelled by so many like
and there's
streamers
I
for
don't
that.
obviously I don't agree with everything you fucking say because you're
Like
fucking
what? What don't you
insane,
agree with?
literally insane. But
No, no, no. I'm not insane. Look, it's not insane to join Twitter and immediately post about how all American soldiers should immediately be extradited to Afghanistan for immediate execution by the Taliban. There's nothing insane about that. I know what you're talking about. It's normal.
it's like you have like 30 scandals per week, man. It's like taka 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 taka.
The
Like mini
scandal. The scandal is like I don't know. It's a bit of
civil
a.
wars and shit.
I mean, I just post like the dumbest shit possible on Twitter half the time, and it gets like legit. I start like legitimate like discourse where like
but like
these.
it looks like you do it intentionally. You know, you're like, what's the most like discourse, as you call it, discourse inducing? Let's say, let's call it, not just deranged shit posting, but
There was one time where
discourse
like
inducing posts.
there was one
How
time
do
where
you
I
think
posted saying like
them up?
I just
Is it a
repeated something that
process?
Has said. Has said Starbucks workers aren't proletariat because they make coffee and that's bourgeois or some shit. I don't know. His brain doesn't work. So I took that. I'm like, I'm gonna post that, and I posted it, and like it got posted in like 15 subreddits. People talked about it on their stream and shit, and it was like they like legitimately believe that I was arguing that the Starbucks workers should be excluded from the proletariat, and that was just great. Like I'm the only one who uses Twitter correctly. Someone said this recently to me, like I'm the only one who uses Twitter correctly because Twitter isn't serious. Twitter is one of two things. It's an RSS feed for news, or it's just you post whatever dumb shit to get people angry. That's the only reason
That's a
that it
good take.
exists.
That's
Like,
a very good take.
I'm sure you're a YouTuber. You know that most of your traffic on YouTube comes from YouTube itself, from the algorithm. It doesn't matter if you post your videos on Twitter, if you're a nice boy on Twitter. What drives your traffic is YouTube itself. People don't realize that. Like they think that if they post about how bad I am because I said that Israel should be destroyed on Twitter, that's not going to affect me. Because the people who watch my videos, they watch the video and they close it. They don't watch the video and then go and talk about it on Twitter with a bunch of fucking losers. But those people think they do.
Exactly. To me, like half of the people that, like, let's say mid-level creators or whatever that quote unquote got canceled themselves to an extent. Because when it comes to, for example, a Twitter fire, everybody ganging up on you on Twitter for some bad or hot take that you've had, just log out and don't look at that shit and keep making your whatever videos, podcasts, whatever the fuck. It will fucking work, man. The
What's
Twitter
going to
people are
work
gonna
the
forget
best,
it.
though,
Go back.
is
What?
baiting them to come on my stream and try to argue that American soldiers are poor little victims. That would be fun, but they're all terrified. Do you support the veterans?
Okay, you take it to next. You take it absolutely next level. You fucking
No, it's all about getting someone to come on my stream so that I can finally have someone say all the talking points, and then just whenever someone uses the talking points, I can link them the video, and I never have to talk about it ever again. Dude, I'm the most experienced person in the world at arguing that American soldiers should be tried by the Taliban. No one can beat me on that.
Sure, yeah. If they're POVs and they're captured by the Taliban, why the fuck not? The Taliban is the state now. So
the Taliban
if you're
should just like troll America by sending extradition requests for like every U.S. soldier. But they should legitimately do that. Are you drunk?
That would be.
Or are you always drunk?
No, I'm not drunk. What the fuck? Why?
It's just that laugh sounded like a drunk laugh.
No. I'm as sober as a stick, but I
What does that
genuinely
mean for
laugh.
you?
Huh? What does
What does
that
it mean
for
to be
me?
sober? Yeah. I'm sorry. Didn't you need to go? Or
When I don't have alcohol or sugar in my body, or
it
like
is
very
racist to eat
fat
drunk. That's
food.
true.
Mhm. Yeah, I find it very funny when motherfucker talks about drinking problems and then orders 3 cheeseburgers and 2 buckets of fucking KFC burger.
That's the American way, man. You can't say that. Like,
They're
dude,
gonna tell
like
you you have a problem,
it's
and
so
then like your
fucking hard to
caloric
get by
intake is
in
like
the USA. Like,
18,000.
I mean, no, dude, you can't say that. It's kind of racist against Americans, to be honest. You don't know how difficult it is. Americans have to spend like at least $50 on food per day. They need the breakfast burger, $15 right there, and fries too. You can't forget the fries, right? And
Of
large
course.
Coke. Then they need the
And a lot
lunch burger, $15 again. Dinner burger, 15 fucking dollars. It's so hard to get by there because the prices are just so fucking high for the like basic sustenance, dude.
Exactly. And they all like sit alone in their fucking cars and shit. Like the reason I only consume booze either when I make a very nice cocktail or with a nice meal, blah 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 blah. But usually it's only once, maximum twice a week, because I'm an extremely social person and I like to go out, and it's very embedded in my culture to consume copious amounts of alcohol while I dance my ass off and shout obscenities up until 4 a.m. I like that lifestyle. I
That's a
enjoy it
good.
at
I
least once
mean,
a week.
that's a good culture.
I need to get all the negative shit out of my body, so that the other 6 days are not toxic and they're stable, etc., etc. Okay, 5.5, because you lose half a day from the hangover.
Mhm.
But it's to me what's kind of relatively annoying. You do you actually try not to use any substances. Like, God bless, be clean. You are better than me if you manage to do that and have a relatively healthy life, mentally.
I
Bravo,
think
good for
that
you, my
boring.
friend. They're very fucking boring, but I'm trying to be nice here. But it's the recent it comes mostly from the West again. This is like a West dunking episode or whatever the fuck. But it's the take that weed and LSD and shrooms, etc., etc. That's the type of shit that helps you open your third eye, my man. That's the type of shit that connects your chakras, my bro. And alcohol is kind of looked at as like a ultra poisonous death, ensuing chaos horror that's for boomers and shit, right? It's this like new weird understanding of what is a hip narcotic to take and what is no longer that hip. And the no
Mhm.
longer hip narcotic apparently is just having a fucking beer, bro. No, we have to get fucking, we need to fucking explore our fucking core
You gotta go
fucking
to
brain.
Peru and like get some shaman to
Yeah, yeah.
give you the
Dude,
smoke.
you're getting fucking extremely fucking shit faced with some random dude in the fucking forest. Okay, that's the same fucking thing I do in the club or in the fucking forest when I go barbecuing or some shit. Like, respectfully, it's getting fucked up. You do your type of getting fucked up. Let me do my type of getting fucked up. Uh, the first instance of you probably having a problem with a particular substance is when you tell it as this incredibly enlightening whatever the fuck. You heard what I just said. In order to survive the absolute horror which is uh, existing in late stage capitalism, I need a day, a week to fucking push all the fumes out of my body, so to say, in order for me not to shoot up a school or some fucking shit.
That's no, that's the
So
American way, not yours.
exactly, maybe they should just drink more, I guess, motherfuckers.
It's
Let the
like
kids. No, there you go. Ultra hot take. The reason American kids fucking shoot up so much shit is because it's super hard for them to get booze under the age of 18.
probably.
Because just they have a few beers with the bros. The bros might tell them, "Yo, man, don't worry. You haven't gotten laid at 17. There's still time. You'll get laid. You're not actually an incel, bro. Everything is okay." Maybe they wouldn't then go and find girls to sexually assault and murder. But
Yeah, I mean,
obviously,
when you're
oh,
18, I mean, a lot of them like legitimately believe if they're like 17 years old and they haven't had sex yet, it's time to do a suicide attack on a school.
yeah, exactly.
It's insane.
I,
How does
uh,
that even happen? Like, what kind of disgusting culture do you live in for that to even happen?
I don't know. For that to even be an option for you,
Yeah, it's
to
just
me, like
incredibly fucked up.
somebody even like hitting a girl like in high school or primary school, like the other boys would beat the fucking shit out of him. These motherfuckers walk in with fucking ARs into fucking school, bro. Like, I don't know. Very different worlds that we live in, man. Very different.
Yeah, America's a weird place. You know what? I also need to ask you before you leave, just in case. When are you inviting
Yes,
me
sir.
to your podcast? You have to invite me
One
on.
day. That day
No,
shall
no,
come.
that's not an
One
answer.
day.
That's not an answer.
Nada, you're
I
not putting
I
that
don't, I
effort in.
don't care what your
I am.
PR firm told you that my brand danger that I post to your brand if you
No,
if you
never said that. I am one of three. So pitch it to the other guys
well,
as well.
Hakim leaves positive comments on my videos, so you have to tell him to invite me. And then that's
Okay,
2 out
I
of 3
will.
democracy, radical
I will.
democracy.
I will put in. I will. What's the word? I will lobby in favor of the BadEmpanada think tank. Okay,
Yes,
that's what I can.
I'm one of the most well-known intellectuals of the modern era, so it's very important. I'm a huge draw. You would get so many extra viewers because of me, at least 2.
I'm gonna no, stop being so modest. But when I reach 150K on YouTube, which is going to be in like 700 years, no, actually, recently the algorithm has been fucking loving me, which is very surprising. But okay, but yeah, when I reach that, I'm gonna have you on mine, as I
Okay,
said,
well,
100
in
times.
3 years we'll do that.
Yeah, deal.
Well, at least the
10K
deprogram.
for
You have
years.
to, you have to lobby. You have to lobby for me. You have to be like, I can pay you to lobby for me. I could be like an oil company.
Absolutely. And what's up with this? For example, now I have no idea how much money you've made from the stream, but if you were a real communist, you would give me 50%.
I'm probably not gonna
Because
make
this
my.
is
I mean, if I
stupid.
upload this, no one's
No,
actually donating shit. People only donate
I'm
when
not.
I beg. By the way, give me money now. Like people only donate when
I
I beg.
noticed last time. I only saw last time when I left. You stood there for 5 minutes
Saying,
and you
"Give
were
me
like,
money."
Give me money."
That's what I do. Like I say, "Give me money," or I'm gonna end the stream, and they give me money, and I just end the stream anyway. It works every time.
Let me help you. Give him money. Let's see if it
Yes,
works.
give me
Give
money
him
now.
money. Please give him money.
Just
Give
give me money
Empanada
now.
money.
If you give me
I will
money, I
say
can
funny things.
then
I will
bribe
say funny
Yugopnik
weird
to
things.
get me on the
I
D
will say
program.
funny weird things if you say
Yes.
if you write in
Thank you.
the donation
You advocate.
what
Communism is based.
There you go.
$5 a
Let's
month.
Like look at them. They're
let's
just
get
like
the
monkeys
boys
waiting for the
bills
command. They're
paid.
doing it.
There's like
Now we have the
look at the
hype
white
train.
wall behind him. Look at that
By
cheap
the
ass
way,
fucking board.
by the way, do
I'm
you remember?
consuming.
You guys
Like,
have
I used to
fucking
have
key in that door. You have
Dude.
keys in your doors that
Praise
like
be
connect
to
to different
Allah.
Dude, I
rooms.
used to have like
Jesus
this
Christ.
emote
Give him money.
on this
Mhm,
emote on my stream of the Croatian war criminal chugging the suicide thing, and they
Yeah.
removed it obviously because they finally after like a year they realized what it
Communism
was.
is
Feels like he
based.
supports the
However,
Holocaust.
it's still there in my hype train. Like when I get a hype train, it's like
Incredible.
woo hype train, and it scrolls to the left, and you can see the Croatian guy committing suicide. It's still there. They didn't remove it there.
Consuming.
Oh, that's fucking epic. Oh, that's very funny.
It's like hype train, woo woo, and then just the guy just like chugging his suicide concoction. It's fantastic.
I'm
Absolutely.
consuming.
Oh, people really are donning.
Yeah, like all it
but
took
it's
is for
really
you
a
to beg for
moment.
me.
Give him money. I require the dollar.
I can use
Give
this
him-
money to lobby the program to bring me on.
There you go. Give
Some
him
guy
money.
donated
Give
like
money.
20 subs.
Give money
I'm
now to
consuming.
Empanada. Make boy rich.
You need to
boy.
make your
Yeah.
own stream so you can do this.
I will one
And
day
I'll
when
come
I quit
on and
my
do it
day
for
job.
you.
Absolutely. Give money. Give money to BadEmpanada. Look
Why do
at
you
how
still work a
fucking rich
job?
I'm
Do you not make enough from
consuming.
YouTube? What's going on?
I do. And from the podcast, no, I'm happy. I'm financially relatively stable.
But you still
I'm
work
just
a real
greedy
job.
fuck. Cause I'm greedy, bro. Obviously, I'm
Okay.
fucking greedy. You know?
It's you're not greedy for free
I'm
time though.
Consuming.
Yeah, there you go. You know, I'm gonna rest when I'm dead. Give
Capitalist.
money, more money. Not enough money, more money. Give money.
I feel
Give
bad now. This
money
is like
to them.
exploitative.
I will say funny thing. Is anyone asking me to say any funny thing when they
Communism
donate?
is based.
Can
Someone
they
said, "What's your
write
opinion of Yakub?"
I was just wrong.
of,
like, I'm a
Yaqub?
fucking idiot.
There's so many Yaqubs that come to mind. Which Yaqub?
Well, the Nation of Islam Yakub,
I
the
have
one who created
nothing.
white people. You don't know that?
Consuming.
Oh yes! Oh my God! I learned that from you as always. Give him money. Absolutely. Like fuck, that was so fucking funny. But give me more lore about Yaqub.
Well,
Communism is based.
He was from some Greek island. I don't remember what it was. And
Greek
and
god, very good.
he decided that like he went to high school and some
Communism is based.
like the girl he liked went out with a thug and he was like, fuck this, I'm creating white people. So he went to the Greek island of Patmos and over like 1,000 years, he also had a really large head, by the way, because his brain was big. He was like, he bred like the lightest black people he could find with each other, and then he would breed their offspring with each other, etc., until he created white people. And then in order to get his revenge on the world that took his high school sweetheart from him, he just unleashed them upon the world. And they learned tricknology. They learned how to trick the Asiatic black man, because black men are also from Asia for some reason.
Okay,
in order
Communism
to
is based.
take over the world.
Praise be
Yes, this
to
is a
Allah.
real religion. It was actually
How many
Malcolm X's
followers?
religion, if you can believe it.
No way.
I believe it. It's like you and me, we have tricknology. We can trick each other
Praise
using our
be to
technology.
Allah.
And I'm about to spend the rest of my fucking evening fucking researching.
Googling that. You gotta look him up.
Yakubaism.
We have
Absolutely.
like if
Praise
you
be to
look at my
Allah.
chat, we got the emote of Yakub and he's shaking. They didn't remove
Yeah,
that one
yeah,
for being
it's funny.
political. They removed legitimately half of my emotes for being political. I never bothered to replace them because I don't know what else to put.
But I love how they're removing it for being political, and you're like a political streamer. Like you talk
They
about
just not allowed
politics.
for some reason. That's why that was their excuse for removing my my Croatian man chugging. Not that he was killing himself. It was that it was political. That was and I had Juan Guaido calling up the CIA,
I'm
and they
consuming.
removed that as well.
Fucking funny.
Juan Guaido, by the way, if you didn't know, he was officially removed as the alternative president by his own guys, and they just didn't
I
replace
love
him.
it.
There's no more. Like poor guy. Wait, I haven't
Yeah.
checked. Wait, I need to check his Twitter. Does he still have president in his Twitter bio?
Oh yeah, check it.
I haven't looked.
Give him money. Give him money. Praise be to
Give me
Yakub.
money. He's still there. It now
We will
says
use this money to build
no. It
another
now
church
says
for you.
president from 2019 to 2022. So he still believes that he was the president, but not that he is currently.
Was the president. But I
And
love
he's
how he
still
listened
spamming.
to them. Like he listened to them. They came to him and they told him, "Man, fucking, you need to stop saying that you're president because this is getting embarrassing. We didn't make it work with you, etc., etc." And Juan literally went, "Shit, I need to change my Twitter description because that's the only place he's a fucking president."
Exactly. No, he was also the president. Like in his apartment, he had like a spare room set aside to have like a set where they would film his on like a shitty phone his like pronouncements. It was exactly the same as like random guys who declare themselves like the president of the world and like they become like local celebrities because it's so funny. He was one of those.
Fucking incredible. So, on a high note, let's end it. Give him money. Please give him money.
I got level 6 hype train, thanks to you. Well, let's see if we
is
can
that
get
good?
level 7. I
Is
guess.
that
I don't
good?
know. Guys, level 7.
What was your biggest? What was your biggest?
One
hype
more
train?
minute. I think level 5. And it's always
wow!
because there's like one loser, this one guy. I'm not gonna say his name because it enables
never
them.
did anything for you. Mhm.
There's always
What?
one
Yeah.
guy who like gives like 1 million fucking gift subscriptions, but I'm not saying their name because it just enables them more. Because they do it because they want me to say their name.
I'm consuming.
It's something like
good
I
for
don't
you.
say their name or anything. I don't enable the simps. I insult them and they still give me the money.
So it's like what was that kink when you?
It's negging.
Negging?
It's like what the
called
pickup artists
negging?
say. Like you pick up women by like being mean to them.
No, but that fetish where like women
Like pay
force
pig.
you to give them money, pay pigs.
Yeah,
Okay.
like there's like
You have mastered an
people-
audience of pay pigs.
There's
Come on,
people
pay
who
pigs.
like get a woman to come
Or-
to get a woman to come to their house and like put a dog leash on them to like walk them to the ATM on all fours so that they have to withdraw money for her. It's pretty awesome.
Okay, Barnetto 2134. I said your name. There you go.
No, you said his name.
That's
That's terrible. You enabled
yeah.
him. You violated the fucking rules of engagement, man.
Give money so we finish the hype train so I can get out of here so I can
20%
research your
more.
poop.
As soon as we get
But
20%,
jokes
just leave the
aside,
call
this was really
immediately.
fun, man. This was very fun.
Yeah.
Whenever you invite me, fucking invite me. I'll do my
I
best to come
failed.
on.
Hype train
Genuinely,
success.
I
I'm
genuinely enjoyed this.
consuming.
Fucking bravo, robot commie. Thank you
No! Don't say his name out of all of them. That guy has given me like $1,000 fucking dollars. He's got a problem. You shouldn't enable that. He's like an addict.
Man, I support all fetishes, including pay pigs of BadEmpanada, man.
Wow.
You don't look like much of a dominatrix, but I guess looks can be deceiving.
You don't know.
Now
I might
somebody's
have
gonna
all the gear
Photoshop.
behind me
Now
somewhere.
somebody's gonna Photoshop BadEmpanada's head on a dominatrix.
I'm
It's gonna be fucking
consuming.
class.
Terrible.
Okay.
Anyway, goodbye
Thank you for
forever.
your time.
Invite me to
Goodbye
the D
forever.
program.
I fucking hate you, you cunt.
Yeah, invite me to the D
and-
program. Goodbye.
Okay. Goodbye.
See ya.